A warm welcome to you anywhere around the world. This is Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. We are live in Abuja. The management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, says it is now prepared to proceed to the next phase of the Ajaokuta-Kaduna Kano gas pipeline project in 2026. The NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Bashir Ojulari says the next phase is to connect the main line of the project, which will supply gas to power industries in northern parts of the country. The group CEO revealed this after briefing President Bola Tinubu in Lagos on the end of the year 2025 performance and strategic priorities for 2026. Mr. Ojulari, through the inspiration and support of the president, the NNPCL has recorded improvements in crude oil production from 1.5 million barrels per day in 2024 to over 1.7 million barrels per day. The gas production is now over 7 million standard cubic feet per day, an improvement from the 6.5 million standard cubic feet per day recorded in 2024.
We've been able to successfully complete the welding of the main line of the AKK. You remember sometimes in summer we were able to cross the River Niger, which has been a struggle for many years. By completing this main line, what that means now is that we can begin to connect, make all the connections to the main line, which we will do in the earlier parts of next year. And why that is very important is that that brings gas in its full form into the northern part of Nigeria. We're looking at Kaduna, Kano, and also, of course, Ajaokuta and Abuja, where we begin to see industrialization, we begin to see industrial park taking gas for gas-based industry, fertilizer plants, as well as generating power. So those are some of the achievements we've achieved this year. I think for next year, I think the conversations in terms of our key priorities, the most important part, again, is to focus on increasing production. When we say increasing production, it sounds simple, but there's a lot that goes into it. It means attracting the right investment to increase production, whether it's oil or gas. And next year, we're hoping to, achieve at least 1.8 million barrels, per day, again, stepping up from where we are this year in terms of oil production, as well as further increase in terms of gas production as well.
The president reiterated his expectation to improve oil production to 2 million barrels per day by 2027. President Bola Tinubu has departed Lagos for Europe in continuation of his end-of-the-year break and ahead of his official trip to Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates. The president took off from Murtala Muhammad International Airport this Sunday afternoon. Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy Bayo Ononuga stated that President of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, invited President Tinubu to participate in the 2026 edition of Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week ADSW Summit, which will take place in the Emirates early in January. The week-long summit is an annual event that mobilizes leaders from government, businesses, and society to chart the next era of sustainable development. With the theme, The Nexus of Next, All Systems Go, ADSW is aimed at connecting ambition with action across innovation, finance, and people, showcasing how the world can move forward with confidence. The presidential advisor says President Tinubu will return to the country after the summit. Now, Minister of Works for State, Muhammad Bello Goronyo, has described infrastructure development as a critical catalyst for expanding horizons and enablers of commerce, education, healthcare, security, and social integration. At a public function in Sokoto State that brought together professionals, Goronyo emphasizes that Nigeria's development journey depends largely on how effectively professionals translate knowledge into solutions and individual success into collective impact. He explains that Nigeria needs a network of professionals both at home and in the diaspora to achieve implementation of the development roadmap of the current administration. He also assures Nigerians that President Tinubu is committed to completing the 4 legacy road projects including the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road and Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway.
Kebbi, Niger, Kwara, Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos. What does that mean? It's to create connectivity, to open commerce, to bring agricultural products closer to the people. Over the last 2-3 weeks, I was in Kebbi section. They have even started solar lights because it's going to be solar light from Ilela up to Lagos. There will be schools, there will be medicare centers, there will be police stations across that corridor. You imagine what will happen in a couple of years if that road is completed. And of course, it's going to link up to Coastal Highway, which is Lagos to Calabar. That Lagos to Calabar is going to crisscross. It's about 750 kilometers stretch.
Still in the northwest, Katsina State government has launched the 2024-2025 bursary allowances and award presentation for students from the state. Governor Diko Rada said this during the flag-off, reaffirming his administration's investment of 2.6 billion naira in scholarships. Awal Haliru reports.
Scholarship is part of the state's Building Your Future agenda to support thousands of students locally and abroad. Initiatives like the Academic Excellence Award and Special Needs Scholarship promote merit and inclusivity. Governor Dukorada expressed pride in students from Katsina studying abroad in fields like AI, bioengineering, and medicine, saying they will boost the state's development upon return.
This administration believes that education is not a privilege. It is a right for every child. This is why we have prioritized funding of scholarship, even amidst competing demands on our budgets.
The governor also inaugurated the facilities at the headquarters of the Scholarship Board to modernize state institutions.
Revitalize scholarship administration and position education as the backbone of development in Katsina State and Nigeria at large. Over 2.6 billion naira has so far been invested in scholarship and bursary support.
The Executive Secretary, State Scholarship Board, says more than 600 million naira is allocated for 2024-2025, with previous disbursement supporting tens of thousands of students. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
The final step towards the realization of Nigeria's first University of Public Relations and Leadership by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, has come to fruition with the foundation-laying ceremony of the institution at the permanent site in Gudi, Nasarawa State. The historic event marks a major milestone in NIPR's long-standing vision to establish a specialized university dedicated to advancing professional training in public relations, leadership and strategic communication. Haman Jabani reports.
The University of Public Relations, which is taken off with 4 faculties under the phase of construction, is planned to sit on 16 hectares of land. These facilities are being provided by the Nasarawa state government, reflecting a growing recognition of the critical role of effective communication and ethical leadership in governance, business, and societal development.
At the time when we started working on it, I didn't know how much it was going to cost. It was just a dream. And we say we must continue with the dream. And the day they told us that we are selected, that's the beginning now of work.
This innovation, it is said that is one of its kind in the whole world.
When the future knocked, your administration opened the door. That you chose to invest not only in infrastructure, but in intellectual and moral capital, which is the biggest source of investment.
When completed, the University of Public Relations and Leadership is expected to strengthen Nigeria's human capital development, enhance the credibility of professionals, and position the country as a regional and global hub of public relations and leadership studies. Haman Jabani, NTA News.
The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, has reaffirmed the commitment of the organization to sustaining its reputation as Nigeria's most credible media institution through the verification of news content that promotes peace and unity across the country. The Director General made this known while speaking at the reunion of NTA Kaduna Network Center. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
This is one of the television stations at the heart of Kaduna that has for decades produced content that educates and enlightens the public.
Welcome to NTA Kaduna Studio.
Veteran staff from the 1970s and 1980s, including the reporters, producers, news presenters and cameramen, converted the station for a reunion.
A family reunion of sort, rekindling all memories on the job and reconnecting after exiting the system. Here we are again today, gathered to pick up from where we left.
We are still growing stronger because the current DJ of NTA is from this humble house.
The event brought to the fore discussions on how to reposition and improve the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA.
As broadcasters, our duty, our function is to give voice to ideas.
If we want to move the authority forward, we must all be law-abiding. We must adhere to the rules and regulations of the NTA.
This is the major competition of television in the world right now. And you cannot beat it. And something that you cannot beat, that means you must align yourself with it.
We should be able to sustain what we have made. But the desirable thing is for us to make things better.
It was a nostalgic moment as the veterans caught sight of some of the equipment they once operated during their active years. This is the historic NTA Kaduna Museum, a place that preserves and keeps materials that NTA Kaduna used in the 70s and 80s. Ibrahim Buba, one of the pioneering staff of NTA Kaduna, who began his career as a production officer, demonstrated how they navigate the challenges of the analog era, operating heavy analog cameras under demanding conditions.
In our own days, picture to picture, you have to think about how you can, transit from one end to the other or from one video to the other. Today, your computer does all those things for you.
Earlier, a novelty football match was held between the New Age Network and NTA Kaduna football team, where the Director General of the NTA, Salu Abdulhamid Dembos, relived memories of his youthful days on the pitch. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umarajingi, NTA News.
Now to a bit of security matters. Zamfara State Command has foiled an attempt by bandit terrorists to block a major highway in the state and arrested a notorious bandit terrorist, Binjil, in the operation. The Commissioner of Police, CP Ibrahim Balarab Mekaba, said operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit, led by ASP Aliyu Bilyaminu Koko, were on routine patrol along the Safe-Yankozo axis when they were alerted to the threat of terrorists attempting to block the Safe-Yanwari-Daji road. During the subsequent exchange of fire, some of the bandits fled into the bush with possible gunshot injuries, while others jumped into a nearby riverside and escaped. The police said the command spokesperson, the SP Yazid Abubakar, confirmed the arrest of bandit terrorist one Umar Alhaji Buhari, popularly known as Binjil. In a related development, Zamfara State Police Command has confirmed the death of unspecified number of commuters following the explosion of a suspected improvised explosive device along Gusau-Magami-Dansada Road. In a statement issued by the Police Public Relations Officer of the Command, DSP Yazid Abubakar, the tragic incident occurred on Saturday at Mekogo Village in Maru local government area of the state. The IED planted by unknown persons blew up a moving trailer, killing an unspecified number of persons, including some motorcycle riders. The statement further says security operatives have been deployed to the scene to secure the area and prevent further harm as efforts are ongoing to ascertain the actual number of casualties resulting from the tragedy. Members of the public are advised to remain calm and vigilant and promptly report any suspicious objects or movements to the nearest security agency. Kaduna is our first stop on Nationwide, and Ajingi is our guide. Over to you.
Here in Kaduna, Harmonizing security policy framework with social intervention programs as well as crippling the economy of criminal enterprises across the Northwest Zone are panacea to the current security challenges bedeviling the region. The report.
With peace gradually returning to most part of the Northwest, even though with a few pockets of insecurity here and there, concerned citizens have continued to engage stakeholders and communities on how to build on the successes recorded.
Policymakers, security professionals, traditional leaders, and civil society groups converge to deliberate on lasting solutions to banditry, kidnapping, and organized crime.
Criminality and terrorism is now an enterprise.
Participants at the summit emphasized on harmonizing security policy frameworks with education, job creation, and community-based engagement, noting that poverty and unemployment continue to fuel criminal recruitment across the region.
Government has therefore continued to complement coordinated security operations and intelligence-led law enforcement with interagency collaboration and community-focused approach in line with the renewed agenda of Mr. President.
In Kaduna State, we have embraced a people-centered, intelligence-led, and non-kinetic complemented security strategy. We recognize that sustainable peace cannot be achieved by force alone.
Let us shun the messages of violence, instigation of violence, and that is across all religions. Let's stop the hate speech.
The summit ended with a call for decisive action, urging authorities to adopt a balanced approach that combines force with social and economic solutions to achieve lasting peace. In Kaduna, Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
Effective water governance, robust data systems, and resilient infrastructure provide the backbone for climate mitigation and adaptation. The Director General National Water Resources Institute Kaduna, Associate Professor Abdul Jalal Dambaba, stated this at the 12th National Water Conference. Kim Gotts has the details.
Challenges from the increasing impact of climate change, ranging from unpredictable rainfall patterns to drought, flooding, rising temperature, and the degradation of water drainages, which have placed pressure on water systems, necessitated the 12th National Water Conference with the theme Water for Climate Action, Food and Energy Security by the National Water Resources Institute, Kaduna.
Smart irrigation and water systems, integrated water management, and nature-based solutions have significant potential for enhancing agricultural productivity.
Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, as well as other institutions, applauded the conference as a platform for knowledge sharing, innovation, and strategic dialogue on water resources management.
Particularly, we must commit to strengthening community participation in water management, promoting climate-smart agriculture.
Participants are expected to engage actively in the technical sessions, panel discussions, exhibitions, networking opportunities, and contribute meaningfully to the advancement of knowledge and practice in the water sector. In Kaduna, Kim Gotts.
And that's our contributions from this end nationwide continues in our Maiduguri Network Center.
All right, you're welcome back to Abuja as we cannot connect our Maiduguri Network Center this moment. Yes, let's go over to Kebbi State. Of course, they have officially graduated the first set of forest guards under the Presidential Forest Guards Initiative launched by President Bola Tinubu in May 2025. The 819 personnel are set to be deployed to protect forests and tackle criminal activities in remote parts of the state. Correspondent Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa reports.
The newly graduated forest guards, drawn from Aliwa, Augi, Dandi, and Danko Sagu local government areas,
completed 3 months of intensive training conducted by a joint security team comprising National Park Service, the Nigerian Police Force, the Department of State Services, and the Nigerian Navy Special Boat Service.
They are going to be provided with all the necessary weapons. As you can see during the trainings, they are going to be issued with AK-47 rifles. They are going to be provided with the vehicles and water fuel.
Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris, represented by his deputy, commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the initiative and pledged the state government support, noting that the gas will help to fill security gaps in hard-to-reach areas.
Place on record our unwavering and total support for this very initiative. We will provide every necessary support within our power to ensure your operations are successful.
The newly graduated guards were presented with appointment letters and pledged diligent service with a tactical display showcasing their readiness for immediate deployment. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
Time is now set to connect with our Maiduguri Network Center, and Wadiam is set to go.
Welcome to Maiduguri. Glad you could join us. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum has inaugurated the newly renovated Officers' Lounge and Cafeteria for personnel of Sector 3, Operation Hadinkai in Mongonu. The twin facilities, renovated under the supervision of the Sector Commander, Major General Suleiman Seidu Tilawan, are designed to provide a functional, dignified and conducive environment for rest and interaction. Mohammed Goni reports.
The facilities are intended to directly support the psychological readiness and operational effectiveness of soldiers in active theater of conflict, serving as a morale booster for troops on the front line of the Northeast counterinsurgency. Governor Zulum, while inaugurating the project, described troops' welfare as a non-negotiable pillar of modern warfare, stressing that operational success depends not only on firepower and intelligence, but also on the physical and mental well-being of personnel.
And let me congratulate the entire officers and men of this sector for the great achievements that the sector has been doing here.
The governor lauded the troops of Sector 3 for their sustained efforts in securing Monguno and its environs, acknowledging that their vigilance has significantly reduced insurgent threats, restored public confidence, and enabled a gradual return of socio-economic activities. Professor Zulum further assured the Nigerian Army and other security agencies of his administration's continued support, pledging sustained collaboration in logistics, infrastructure, humanitarian access, and post-conflict recovery. The event also featured the investiture of Major General Tilawan, who was recently promoted from Brigadier General. Governor Zulum congratulated him on his well-deserved promotion, describing it as a recognition of professionalism, sacrifice, and consistent service. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Borno State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has arrested and paraded 10 suspects involved in various criminal activities in the state. The State Commandant, Ahmed Bello Gaya, reaffirmed the Corps' commitment to ridding the state of crime and criminality. Fatima Isa reports.
Borno State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has intensified its anti-vandalism efforts to safeguard the nation's critical infrastructure. This renewed drive led to the arrest of 10 suspects allegedly involved in the vandalization of public and private infrastructure across the state, despite Borno State government's ban on the scrap metal businesses, popularly known as Ajakuta. State Commandant NSCDC Ahmed Bello Gaya also disclosed the arrest of 2 suspects for fraudulent impersonation, allegedly posed as the former director of Finance and Administration of the Ministry of Local Government and Emirate Affairs, Borno State. They reportedly collected 50 million naira and a Peugeot 406 from their victim under the guise of acting on behalf of Governor Babagana Umar Zulum.
The ban announced during a visit to Bulunkutu covers all 27 local government areas and prohibits any informal, unregulated metal recovery operations.
The command further revealed that the 10 suspects were arrested alongside 4 separate seizures made along Jimtilo, Kano Road, and Alansar Mosque, GRA Maiduguri. Items recovered include 4.5 bags of burned scrap metals, 12 antenna units, 7 reels of red cable, and 12 MRFU models suspected to be MT and telecommunications equipment allegedly destined to Kano State. In Maiduguri, Fatima Isa, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Maiduguri. We now head back to Abuja, where Ayodeji is in the studios for more reports on Nationwide. Good evening.
Much appreciated, Wadiam, in our Maiduguri Network Center. A notorious drug trafficker, previously convicted in 2023, has been arrested along with 3 cargo agents with 75 parcels of cocaine hidden in a cold water starch sachet bound for the UK at Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reports.
Reveal that the 37-year-old ex-convict is the mastermind behind the shipment involving a male and 2 female cargo agents. He was arrested in a follow-up operation at a popular relaxation center in Ikeja, where he went on a date with his girlfriend. The agency's criminal database revealed that he had been arrested in May 2023 in connection with the seizure of 30.10 kilograms of methamphetamine concealed in powdered custard containers as part of a consolidated cargo going to London. He was subsequently arraigned at the Federal High Court, where he was convicted and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment with an option of a fine of 7 million naira. He paid the fine and soon afterward returned to the same crime. In another successful operation, NDLEA operatives set ablaze tons of skunk, a strain of cannabis, in a wooden warehouse in Ara Forest, Ara Ekiti, where 638 kilograms of the same psychoactive substance were also recovered. No fewer than 1,205 blocks of compressed cannabis sativa were recovered from 3 Toyota Camry vehicles intercepted by NDLEA operatives on patrol along Igara-Auchi Road, Edo State. In Cross River State, raid operations conducted at Igo Ibami Community, Yakur local government area led to the arrest of 3 suspects and seizure of various quantities of skunk. In another operation, a 42-year-old lady was arrested with 38 kilograms of skunk by NDLEA operatives on patrol along Abuja Expressway on her way from Edo State. NDLEA operatives in Lagos arrested a female suspect with 45.5 kilograms of skunk on Christmas Day along Badagry Expressway. In Gombe State, a 65-year-old driver was arrested while conveying 300 ampoules of pentazocine injection and 27,900 pills of tramadol and other opioids along the Gombe-Biu Highway heading to Biu in Borno State. Meanwhile, a 47-year-old businessman wanted in connection with the seizure of 56 parcels of loud at Tinkan Seaport in Lagos has been arrested by NDLEA operatives. The illicit drug consignment was seized on 10th December during a joint examination of a container by NDLEA, Customs and other security agencies. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Nigeria is strengthening its resilience system to address malnutrition so that no one is left behind, especially women and children. This was the call to action at the 2025 National Micronutrient Conference in Abuja, where stakeholders deliberate on tackling the hidden hunger. Salwa Khalid Ibrahim again tells us more.
A story about hunger that bites before you see it, about children who grow on promises and land that forgets its seasons.
Many times, man eats for survival without considering the nutritional value of such food, whereas nutritional content in foods determine health status and productivity of any society. That is why issues of micronutrient deficiency, such as iron, zinc, vitamin A, among others, refers to as hidden hunger, is said to be one of the most persistent public health challenges in Nigeria, which is preventable.
But hunger that stunts a child
and limits a nation's productivity is no mystery. It is visible, it is all around us, it's in our communities. But the good news is that we know this challenge can be solved.
Concerned about these issues, stakeholders are renewing their commitment to addressing micronutrient deficiency by strengthening its systems.
We are currently establishing enduring solutions, including digital traceability plus for enhanced accountability, robust biofortification initiatives, and strategic multi-sectoral partnership.
The ministry, in partnership with other relevant stakeholders, has developed vitamin A cassava, orange flesh sweet potato, vitamin A maize, zinc rice, and zinc sorghum.
However, we need to scale that up, and we need to integrate this into routine health services and our supply chains, so that women, when they go to antenatal care, even in the rural areas, will have access to these multiple micronutrient supplements to prevent the kinds of things that micronutrient deficiency will cause.
An advisory committee was also inaugurated, which will help in fast-tracking and implementing Nigeria's micronutrient policies. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Let's go over to our Lagos Network Center where Adejoke now has the next set of reports.
Hello and welcome to Lagos. Traders affected by the fire incident that engulfed the Great Nigeria Insurance House want emergency responders to speed up search operation to recover bodies of some of their colleagues still trapped in the buildings affected by the fire disaster. Drew Pukbola has a situation report.
4 days after the inferno that engulfed Great Nigeria Insurance House building and other adjoining buildings around this area, the basement of the building is still on fire, even as emergency responders led by the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, are still trying to recover bodies trapped in this building. 3 bodies have been recovered and handed over to their family members. With some parts of the building still burning, it means search operations and efforts to completely put out the fire at the basement are ongoing simultaneously. This rubble was part of the building and officials of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, supported by other emergency responders, are clearing the debris in search of those trapped in the building. Traders at the scene of the incident say many of their colleagues and family members are still trapped in the building.
I know of about 6 persons of my relatives, and we are still here hoping to see even their corpse. So we are working on it. I think since that eve of this incident, we are here. Nobody goes home.
People were trapped there. They could be able to rescue one person alive, but one was weak. Then they rushed him to the hospital.
The fire has weakened the structure of the high-rise building. Thus, the state government urged residents to steer clear of the affected area completely and allow emergency responders continue with the recovery of bodies still under the debris. For now, the hitherto busy Martin Street remains deserted and commercial activities are yet to pick up. In Lagos, Joel Pukbola, NTA News.
And now to health. From early warning systems to public awareness, preparedness against epidemics saves lives as they do not announce their arrival. They can emerge suddenly, spread rapidly, and place enormous strain on health systems and economies. In this report, Hingino John Adams takes a look at Nigeria's readiness against epidemics.
It almost brought the world to its knees. World and health sector leaders built a strong synergy by sharing data, resources, and expertise to contain the virus. It yielded the desired result, and lessons have also been learned. For Nigeria, a country that has faced epidemics such as Ebola, Lassa fever, cholera, and COVID-19, preparedness remains a critical national priority. With its large population and busy borders, the country's readiness is also vital to regional health security.
Citizens can start with taking care of themselves, first of all. Sadly, many Nigerians don't really take care of themselves.
The federal government, subnationals, and development partners have continued to invest in systems aimed at detecting and containing outbreaks early. This, experts say, is commendable.
Nigeria is better prepared for global pandemics more than the one we did in 2019, because the protocols that are established can easily be reactivated now. There are more laboratories that can detect some of these pandemics better than that time.
As Nigeria continues to employ more strategies against epidemics, experts say further strengthening healthcare infrastructure, training health workers, and improving laboratory capacity are necessary. In Lagos, Hinginu, John Adams, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. Nationwide continues with Chika in Enugu.
Enugu Network Center. The Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mba has signed the 2026 appropriation bill tagged Budget of Renewed Momentum into law. The governor restated his administration's resolve to redouble recorded transformations across every sector in the state. Chika Ugu reports that the signing of the bill into law was witnessed by members of the State House of Assembly, among other top government functionaries.
Appending his signature on the document at the Executive Chamber of the Government House, Governor Mba thanked the lawmakers for their diligence and expeditious consideration of the bill. He promised to immediately commence implementation of the law, which is built on inclusivity, accountability, transparency, and traceability. Governor Mba, who cited a boost of the state IGR from below 30 billion naira in 2023 to 40 billion naira in 2025.
We have projected a domestic revenue, an internally generated revenue of over 800 billion. It translates to generating about 70 billion naira every month. And if you push further, it translates to over 18 billion naira every week.
Speaker, Enugu State House of Assembly, is confident that there will be more numerous development projects with the budget of renewed momentum. The budget of 1.62 trillion naira has the sum of approximately 1.3 billion naira for capital expenditure, which represents 80% of the budget, while the remaining 20% is allocated to recurrent expenditure. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
Nigeria's economy is expected to experience significant growth in 2026, driven by renewed hope agenda, a development plan aimed at consolidating reforms and achieving a $1 trillion economy by 2030. The plan focuses on economic diversification, infrastructure development, and food security. Key players in the sectors made the submissions while assessing Nigeria's economy and agricultural sectors in 2025 and prospects for 2026. Kelechi Ochiara reports.
Nigeria agricultural sector demonstrated steady growth in the output of staple crops, according to the 2025 Agricultural Performance Survey conducted by National Agricultural Extension and Research Liaison Services. The survey showed increased production of main crops such as maize, sorghum, millet, yam, and cassava compared to 2024. This expansion contributed to a reduction in food prices across the 6 geopolitical zones, with significant declines in staple crops, indicating availability in the local markets.
other items have dropped. We are very happy. But red oil, actually, we don't know the reason why it has refused to drop.
Prices of things really came down, not quite down, but at least there is a lot of differences.
Agriculture has continued to be one of Nigeria's most important contributors to the economic growth in 2025. This performance reflects a notable contribution to gross domestic product, GDP. However, the 2025 budget by the federal government marked a significant increase in funding for the Ministry of Agriculture to support food production, mechanization, and value chain development.
Because the federal government has support, and then brought in some of these programs, that will help complement the effort of the federal government. That is why farmers are getting it even rosy at the grassroots level.
Based on the current trend, residents in Enugu believe that the agriculture sector in 2026 is expected to build on the gains of 2025 with continued expansion in staple crop production and greater focus on value chain development. In Enugu, Kelechi Ochiara, NTA News.
And that's the news from here. Now over to Abuja for the continuation of the news. Hello, Abuja.
Thanks so much, Chika, in our Enugu Network Center. President Bola Tinubu, through the Southeast Renewed Hope agenda, has put smiles on the faces of less privileged in Imo states with the provision of food palliatives this festive season. Beatrice Ania reports.
Distribution initiative by the Southeast Renewed Hope agenda is aimed at providing relief to the indigent households and ensure the families have food on their table during the festive period. Food items distributed to them include rice, beans, garri, salt, and noodles. They were also given wrappers. Presenting the foodstuffs to the beneficiaries, the National Coordinator Southeast Renewed Hope agenda, Beluso Chukwu Enwere, reminded them of the need to continue to promote the programs and policies of President Bola Tinubu's administration.
The president has done so well for the people of Southeast, for the people of Nigeria. It is indeed a good time as well to call our people together to have a share of Christmas, because it is believed that this period, all families, every family, we should put a smile in their faces. At least they have a little to eat. We know that we cannot satisfy everybody, but let there be a little for them to eat.
So the year is ending, and we have been working with our people both from the grassroots world level to the national level. So this is an opportunity to give back to the community, to reach out to our people and to empower them. I mean, the best that you can do, in this kind of thing is to share love. So we're using it as an opportunity to share love with the people on the grassroots.
We are exceptionally happy. You can see the faces of all the people here gathered.
The beneficiaries of the foodstuffs were the less privileged, drawn from the 305 wards of the state. In Owerri, Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
Faith is not only preserved through prayer, but through guidance and reflection. This is why leaders, followers, and youth members of the Tijana brotherhood converged on the National Mosque, Abuja, for their 15th annual national conference, renewing values, strengthening unity, and charting direction for their community.
From across Nigeria, delegates of the Tijaniya Brotherhood converge at the National Mosque, Abuja. Now in its 15th year, the annual national conference provides a platform for reflection, continuity, and spiritual guidance within Islam.
One of the greatest achievements in this regard is in the field of information technology.
Beyond devotion, discussions center on peaceful coexistence, moral responsibility, and the role of faith in strengthening society, with active participation from the Tijaniya Student Association of Nigeria.
All the books of Sheikh Ibrahim were written with very clear problem statement.
Participants say the conference renews purpose, reminding followers that faith must guide daily conduct, not only moments of worship.
How many books of Sheikhs have you read and understood? That's why Sheikh himself is saying, Tawaitu, Tawaitu. All these books we are talking about, all the other things I have already read it and given to you.
After 15 years, the message remains consistent. Faith finds voice through dialogue, shaping values, strengthening community, and Nigeria.
The future of every country belongs to the youth. But not just every youth, not the ignorant one, the youth who has taken time to learn, who has adorned himself with wisdom.
Ibrahim Hamidu, NTA News.
In the world of sports, Super Eagles head coach Eric Shell says his team remains focused and ambitious despite their 3-2 victory over the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia at the Africa Cup of Nations. Let's join Suleiman Musa for more on sports updates.
Super Eagles head coach Eric Shell has expressed satisfaction with his players' confidence and performances so far at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, while stressing that there is still room for improvement.
We improve at every game, so the first game was good, not bad. We won. The second game, we improved, but we did some good things too and bad things too. So we have to continue to improve at every game.
Nigeria have recorded 2 wins from 2 matches to secure an early place in the last 16 as the Super Eagles now aim for a perfect group stage record when they face Uganda on Thursday. Meanwhile, following Saturday's thrilling 3-2 victory over Tunisia in Fez, coming on the back of a 2-1 opening win against Tanzania, Nigeria Football Federation President Ibrahim Gusau has congratulated the Super Eagles and Nigerians for their display of skills, unity and determination. Gusau also assured that the Super Eagles are heading into the knockout stages of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations with the full support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Nigerian Football Federation. To boxing, Japanese superstar Naoya Inoue produced a masterclass to outpoint Alan David Picasso and retain his undisputed super bantamweight title in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Widely regarded as one of boxing's top pound-to-pound fighters, the 32-year-old Inoue displays superb ring intelligence, blistering hand speed and sharp combinations over 12 dominant rounds. The 25-year-old Picasso was unable to cope with Inoue's pace and body attacks as the judges returned scores of 119 to 109, 120 to 108, and 117 to 111 in favor of the champion. With Sport Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
And just a quick reminder that it's a weekend of sports actions on the NTA with the Africa Cup of Nations. And after the first 45 minutes in the match between Equatorial Guinea and Sudan, it is goalless. That's nationwide. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Thanks for